more on their offensive tack to get things knotted up here.
And you can tell, it looks like in this game they're much more offensively minded. They have a lot of players more towards the front of the field. Traditionally we'll see a lot more players in the backfield, bulking up that defense. But here today, you can see that the Knights are really going offensively all out. They have looks like 5 or 6 players on the Chargers side of the field already right now.
This is Ashley Torgerson getting control right on top of the Knights logo. She's going to go down the far side and send that one towards the goal, but it's going to go towards the net. Even if it went in, it wouldn't have counted, being outside the shooting zone. So the Chargers will bring that back outside the circle and retain possession. They'll sweep it along. Looking for a teammate up the far side. A good interception by Chu Kwang. Stolen back by the Chargers. This is number 33, Riley Danko. Ashley Torgerson, relied on by the Knights a lot on both sides of the ball. As now an opportunity develops for the Chargers. This is Rachel Emmel, another junior captain, in pursuit. Eventually that's going to go out of bounds. And it looks like the Knights will have possession. This is Jocelyn Marino now. Really nice scoop pass. Looking for Sydney White. She'll send it in the middle for Paola Nunez. Battling for possession there. And a good pass over the near side for Sydney White. It looks like it's going to go just out of bounds. And possession will go back for the Chargers. So Knights still looking for their first victory on the season. Coming into this game 0-4. On the other side of things, Lancaster Bible 1-5 on the year. Both teams facing a couple of opponents, as Tyler mentioned. Earlier this year, both teams faced EMU, with the Chargers getting the better of the Royals in that game 3-2. Of course, the Knights were beaten by EMU a couple of weeks ago here. Knights will sweep that one towards the Charger goal. But Lancaster Bible will clear that back out, and Ashley Torgerson will take this. So Tyler, you said you talked a little bit with some of the players earlier, and they said they were pretty optimistic about this matchup. What did they have to say about this game coming in?
Talking to the players, they're just really optimistic. They feel like, this is a real good opportunity to come here and show offensively what they can do. As we said before, the team has had on and off injuries throughout the beginning of this season. They've been a couple players down all their matchups. They got one of their players back, so that's good. Lancaster Bible, as we mentioned, they're down a couple players as well. And so, it's been an uphill battle so far this season for the Knights. They've been playing 11 versus 9 a lot of the time. Their players starting to get healthy again. And, they just feel like, today this is a good opportunity to get back onto the horse and, just execute the way that they want to after being down a couple players.
This is Corinna Olson on the attack, facing two Charger defenders. She's going to stay with it. Really nice play by Corinna. Trying to send it towards the middle, but too many defenders are there as the Chargers are crashing the D zone. Lots of bodies in front, but the Knights get it back. This is Ashley Torgerson now. And she's going to get a whistle in her favor. She'll take it back towards the middle of the field and try and swipe it towards the net. Paola Nunez is there, gets a stick on it, goes out of bounds, and it looks like it'll be a possession to the Chargers. So a good sustained offensive attack by the Knights, their first one of the day.
As we mentioned before, Paola Nunez, she had been the goalie up to this point for the entire season, so it's fun to see her out in a more offensive role.
Good steal there by Jocelyn Marino. She'll get it back for Rachel Emmel. And now a stick battle on the near side. Jocelyn's going to get whistled, and now number 9, Alexis Gilbert, takes control for the Chargers.
Alexis Gilbert, that's a player you should watch out for on Lancaster Bible's team. She leads the team in goals with 2 so far this season.
Now Molly Gray takes control, sending it towards the far side for Riley Danko. Right in front of the goal. Here's a good opportunity for the Chargers offensively, but a nice defensive play by Ashley Torgeson. She's been a key cog in that defensive group for the Knights, but the Chargers quickly send it back towards the Knights' goal. Good defense there by Rachel Emmel. She'll gain control. Trying to get away from these pesky Charger attackers. And eventually a whistle in favor of Lancaster Bible, which will set up a corner shot.
It's the second corner hit of the day for the Chargers. They were able to this is the second hit of the day for the Chargers, and they are so far ahead 1-0. This will be an excellent opportunity for the Chargers to score here to make a comfortable 2-0 lead over the Knights.
Yeah, they're able to execute well on the first one and score, but they're going to get a bit lazy. Maybe some miscommunication there and a good defensive play by Rachel Emmel. They're going to swipe that one past the goal on the right side, and a good job of the Knights at that time on the corner shot, and they'll retain possession.
There you go, yeah. Excellent play by number 27, Rachel Emmel. In field hockey a lot, when they do these corner hits, you'll have a player they call fly, and they just run as fast as they can to disrupt that, and that's what Rachel Emmel was doing right there. So good effort by her.
Marino settles that one down. Nice little pass there to Sydney White on the near side. She's got a couple of teammates with her. Nice stick handling. Trying to get around a Charger defender, but she'll eventually lose it. Really nice play by number 18, Hope Swari. Going to get it to Gilbert. Really nice play by Jocelyn Marino. She's going to steal it away from Gilbert. And now here's your chance for Ellie Egnew. The Knights on the attack, but it's taken away just like that by Lancaster Bible. And then we'll clear it all the way down towards Rachel Emmel. Alexis Gilbert is on that one again. Again, as Tyler mentioned, the leading scorer, 2 goals on the year for the Chargers. They're going to go quickly with this one and whack it towards the goal. But Jocelyn Marino there to steal it. Chargers get it back. Making a run towards the goal. They'll sweep it at Gallardo. And a good kick out by her. Knights desperately trying to clear it. And Alexis Gilbert sends it back towards the goal, out of bounds this time. And the Knights stave it off. So Michaela, a freshman again, stepping into the net for the Knights. We've seen Paola Nunez in the first 4 games of the year in the goal for the Knights. Pretty composed in the net. This is number 3, Myra Rainier. He gets it taken away, and the Knights will have possession now. Corinna Olsen's going to sweep that one towards Paola Nunez. She doesn't get to it in time, and the Chargers are back on the attack, looking for number 4, Maddie Krieg. She faces a lot of pressure from Knight defenders.
As we mentioned before, up to this point, the Knights this season has played, more on the defensive side of the ball. And today, we're seeing a much more aggressive offensive style of play. We see them keeping a lot of players downfield, even as the ball starts to shift more towards the Knights' cage.
Ellie Egnew opts to reset to Ashley Torgeson. And she's trying to find some room down the far side, looking for Ellie Egnew. Just in front of her, it'll go out of bounds. And possession back to Lancaster Bible. third all-time meeting between these two squads, as mentioned. The Chargers took the meeting last year 2-0 up in Pennsylvania. And previously, before that, they had another matchup that Lancaster Bible took as well. So coming into today, at the end of first quarter of play, it is 1-0 in favor of Lancaster Bibles, but a couple of good sustained attacks by the Knights offense, Tyler.
Score is 1-0, but, if I'm either team, I'm confident with the direction we're going. There were some nice offensive, plays by the Knights, and as well as, Lancaster Bible with their one score off of the corner hit. So, if I'm the Knights and I'm down 1-0, I'm pretty confident because, the momentum, besides for that one goal, the momentum seems to be a little bit more in the Knights' favor offensively.
And as we take these 2.5 minutes or so in between quarters, the Knights Athletic Department would like to thank the following sponsors for their continued support of Knights Athletics: Cornerstone Bank, Mill Creek Orthodontics, River Crossing Apartments, Straws Drinks and Eats, Grace Automotive, where SVU students and staff can receive 10% off their vehicle maintenance needs. Also Papa John's Pizza, locally owned and operated. Vinyl Cuts, The Beeve, Katana Sushi, and Hibachi Express. And if you would like to partner with Knights Athletics to promote your business to the Knight Nation, please contact Brett Schroeder at 801-633-1894. Again, that's 801-633-1894.
Yeah. You been to Katana yet? I hear good things about it.
It's good stuff.
All right. Gotta try it. You a sushi guy, Quinn?
I wouldn't say I am. I'm definitely not, but I haven't really given it too much of a chance.
Yeah. I tried it not too long ago for the first time. It doesn't taste bad, but it's just unsettling. I don't know.
But nonetheless, we encourage everyone to go try out Katana Sushi.
I hear great things about it. Even if you're not a sushi fan, they got more than just that.
So as we wind down the clock to start the second quarter of play, Lancaster Bible again leads it 1-0 over your Knights. Both teams playing a player or two down due to injuries. And as Tyler's mentioned a couple of times, the Knights most of the year have played 2 players down, typically 11 versus 9. So a bit of an opportunity here with Lancaster Bible also being a couple of players down to play on the more offensive end. And they've certainly done that and had a couple of sustained attacks. Nothing to show for it yet, but certainly it's encouraging for this offense. As Lancaster Bible starts it, trying to apply some offensive pressure. A good play by Rochelle Chukwang to break it up. Knights are going to get whistled there, and possession still with the Chargers. This is Riley Danko sending it onto the far near side of the field. Alexis Gilbert, number 9, with it now. She's being pestered by Rachel Emmel. Good stick work by her, and that whistle will go in favor of the Knights.
Interesting, when they both came on, both these teams, when they came on the field to start the second quarter, noticing the way they came out, you can see the Chargers coming out with like a 3-2-2-1 kind of setup. And the Knights here, they just had basically 2 lines. They had a line of, 4 kind of people playing the forward midfield position and then 4 in the back. So the Knights kind of stacking up the front. They want to be offensive in this quarter.
This is Alexis Gilbert with again, going to sweep it towards the goal. She found her teammate wide open, and here's the Chargers going to score, get it right through the legs of Gallardo to make it 2-0 in favor of Lancaster Bible. A really nice setup by Alexis Gilbert to her teammate. I think that was Molly Gray underneath. And the Knights find themselves in a quick 2-0 hole early in the second quarter.
Excellent effort by the Chargers here, the way they maneuvered around the defense to create that scoring opportunity for Molly Gray, the junior from Schaeferstown, Pennsylvania.
It's Molly Gray back on the attack again. A really nice move to get around Corinna Olsen. The ball's going to hop towards the Knights' goal, but it's going to be whistled down. And a free shot here for Molly Gray. She's going to send it to her teammate. And a nice kick out there by Michaela. Bounces about 30 yards out to number 7, Haley Stahl. Whistle blows, and Ashley Torgerson is running up to take it for the Knights. Corinna Olsen battling for it. That ball is going to bounce way up high. And Ashley Torgerson there again to take it for the Knights. He's going to sweep it. Looking for Paola Nunez over on the near side. She's one of the forwards that Tyler mentioned, sneaking up on the offensive end, trying to get some sort of attack going for Southern Virginia. This is Molly Gray again being pestered by Rachel Emmel. Really nice pass over on the near side for Alexis Gilbert. She can't quite handle that one. It goes out of bounds and possession back to the Knights. So for Molly Gray, that will be her second goal on the year. This is Sydney White now, junior from Richmond, Virginia. In a little battle for the ball with number 18, Hope Swari. Hope's going to retain possession there. Now Moreno does battle with Alexis Gilbert, the leading scorer for Lancaster Bible. Nice pass for Corinna Olsen. She'll sweep it along, looking for Ellie Egno. Really nice pass by Corinna, and an odd man rush for Southern Virginia. This is Ellie Egno in pursuit of the goal. She's going to run up and fire it towards the goal, and a good save there by the Charger goalie. That's Amanda Hoover in goal for the Chargers. 40 saves on the year for her. Make it 41 with that. And Knights still in the attack. Applying good pressure. Corinna Olsen's trying to sweep it towards the middle of the goal. Now Sydney White, she's going to have a crack at it. Just to the right of the goal. And it looks like the possession's going to go in favor of the Chargers. So, again, another good offensive attack by the Knights. Obviously a really good opportunity for Ellie Ignu, but a good save by Amanda Hoover.
Yep, excellent play there by Hoover in the cage. Unfortunate to see that the Knights weren't able to see that goal to the end, but, excellent offensive play by the Knights here to open up the first half of this game.
Ashley Torgerson now. Looking for Ellie Ignu again. It goes by the Charger defender. Not sure if it touched her or not. And we'll see what the referee rules on this one. Looks like the Chargers will retain possession. They're with on the far side, but a good interception there by Southern Virginia. Now this is Corinna Olsen with it. She'll try to dance her way around a Charger defender, but none doing. And Lancaster Bible back in control. Looking to set up Myra Rainier on the far side. Goes out, though, and Ashley Torgerson with it for the Knights. And that pass is going to make it by the stick of Ellie Ignu. But the Knights still in control, but just can't control it in time before it goes out of bounds. And it looks like it might have gone out before it got to that end of the field, and the Chargers retake possession. But a good play there by Corinna Olsen. She's been all over the field running around as she's back in control with it. Going to try and sweep it towards the goal for a few teammates just in front of Sydney White and Paola Nunez, who were in attacking position. But the Chargers will retake possession. So, Tyler, speaking on the offense for the Knights, what have you liked so far out of their attack?
They're being aggressive today. They've had many opportunities to go in there and score. And, we've been seeing a lot of players, kind of step up to that opportunity. Ellie Agnew, um, we've seen her with the ball a lot today, creating those opportunities. She's had, wide open breakaways, making those be able to happen. I like what I'm seeing today. Like we mentioned more, the Knights just have being more aggressive offensively, a lot more players down the field, getting involved in the passing attack, and trying to create an opportunity to score.
And as you mentioned earlier, Ellie Egnew is the one who had that breakaway opportunity just a couple of minutes ago. She is the Knights' lone goal scorer on the year, as she has it again. Tries to work her way around a defender. She will. Tries to sweep it along for Corinna Olsen. That goes past her, and a really nice attack by Lancaster Bible, but a nice steal by Ashley Torgerson back the other way. Running on the far side, looking for some space. She'll whack it towards the middle of the field. And that's a good deke there by number 3, Mira Rainier. And she does battle with a couple of Knight defenders. Really nice play there by, I think that's number 33, Riley Danko. And the Chargers back on the attack. They've got numbers, but a whole bunch of Knight defenders in the area. That's Jocelyn Marino stealing it. And she's going to feed Ellie Egnew, who's out front there with Audrey Tross. She has it stolen away from her. So a lot of back and forth here in the middle of the second quarter. This is Alexis Gilbert, leading goal getter for the Chargers. That's going to be whistled down. I think the Knights are going to take possession of this one. Or no, it'll be back to the Chargers. Looking for Maddie Krieg. Tried to make it her way around Marino. None doing. It's out of bounds. And Ashley Torgerson of the Knights will take this one.
This last game the Knights played, I was able to go to down in Harrisonburg. I was able to talk to Ashley's grandparents. They came all the way down from Idaho to come watch her play. They'll be staying here the weekend. I believe you can see them in the stands today, even out here in the rain. So shout out to Ashley's family for coming all the way out here to Virginia.
Yeah, kind of tough conditions to spectate in, but seems like it's pretty good weather to play. We had a soccer game here earlier. Knights defeating Methodist 1-0. And just about the same weather for this matchup with Lancaster Bible and Field Hockey. Sydney White's going to say that goes off of Alexis Gilbert. It will. And Rachel Immel will take this free shot. Right along the sideline. Looks like Corinna Olsen's calling for it. She'll trap that ball nicely. And another whistle on Alexis Gilbert. Now Corinna, lots of power. Looking for Audrey Tross. It goes off of her stick. And Lancaster Bible content to let this one roll back towards the line. And they'll take possession about 15 yards outside their own goal. Jocelyn Marino feeds Corinna Olsen. Kind of skipped on her. Nice stick handling to find her way around Alexis Gilbert. Now she'll try and find some room on the near side. She'll cut back towards the middle, then sweep it. Looks like it might have gone off Gilbert's arm. Ref says play on. A lot of skill on display from Corinna Olsen. Is able to flip it up on her stick a couple of times. Trying to find her way by Maddie Gray. But eventually the whistle will go in favor of Lancaster Bible. So the Knights definitely relying a little bit on the skill of Corinna Olsen. We've seen that quite a few times in the past couple of games here. that she's been able to use some sweet stick work to find her way around some defenders.
As mentioned before, Corinna, one of the team captains, one of the more experienced players on this team from Los Altos, California. And like we were saying earlier, she's an integral piece of the Knights' scoring ability here.
Now a Charger pass is going to deflect off of Ashley Torgeson. And Lancaster Bible will regroup. And pass it towards the middle where Maddie Gray can take control of it. He's going to stick handle her way through a couple of Knights. Good job by Rachel Immel to stand a Charger up at the line. But eventually they get it over to Alexis Gilbert again. She's given a bump by Jocelyn Marino. And a good job by Jocelyn, and she'll take control for the Knights. She's going to scoop that one up high. And now Sydney White with it, but she thought it might have gone out, but ref says play on. Now Alexis Gilbert back with it for the Chargers. She's looking for a teammate in the middle of the field. Good steal by Corinna Olsen, again the junior captain. Looking for Ellie Ignu, the lone goal scorer on the year for Southern Virginia. She's got time and space on the far side. She will eventually lose that. Now Rainier, freshman from Topsham, Maine. Knights back in control. This is Ashley Torgeson. That pass gets rejected by a Charger defender, and eventually will bounce off another Knight and out of bounds. Chargers with it in the Knights' territory. Looking for some space, but a couple of Knights defenders are harassing the ball right now. They're still with it, going to whack it towards the goal. Michaela's going to come out to kick it out. It doesn't get to her. And now we're going to have a corner shot, I believe, for Lancaster Bible with under a minute to play now in the second quarter.
Chargers were able to score off their first corner hit, looking to make it 3-0 here to end the half.
So an important defensive stand ahead for the Knights. They don't want to go down 3-0 into the half. That'll make the mountain a lot tougher to climb. To get back into this thing. Chargers set up, let the ball come to them nicely. A good block there. I think that's Rachel Immel again. And it sweeps it towards the goal, just outside of the goal actually. And it looks like it might have gone out of bounds before the Charger attacker could get a stick on it. And the Knights, fortunately, are able to stave that one off, but it looks like Rachel Immel might have taken that shot to the lower leg. And she looks to be in a little bit of pain. Athletic trainers and coaches coming to take a look at her. Rachel is a junior captain on the team from Huntington, Pennsylvania. And she's going to be helped off the field with just under 20 seconds remaining in the first half of play. So as Rachel makes her way over to the bench, hope she's able to feel more like herself in a few minutes as Lancaster Bible goes back on the attack with Alexis Gilbert. Looking for her teammate Maddie Krieg. It's just in front of her though and goes out of bounds. And that'll wind down the first half of play. Lancaster Bible able to get on the board again in that second quarter to take a 2-0 lead. The Knights some good sustained offensive pressure, but nothing to show for it yet with a few shots on goal. So, Tyler, what are your key takeaways from the first half of play leading into the second?
Like we mentioned before, the Knights have definitely been playing this strategically different than they have the previous games. They are definitely putting a lot of pressure on the offense. They haven't been able to see anything happen yet, but they've had a lot of successful drives, a few shots on goals. They made a lot of open space to create those opportunities. I like what I'm seeing so far from both sides. Um, even from the Chargers, they've been able to create a couple opportunities to score off of corner hits and maneuvering around the defense. It's a good game so far. It's not over yet. Both these sides, still got a lot to fight for, and I'm excited to see how the second half goes.
So, Lancaster Bible will go into the break with a 2-0 lead, and we'll just take a short 10-minute break. We'll be back for the second half of play. We hope you can join us in just a few minutes. And we are back for the second half of play. The Chargers of Lancaster Bible leading your Knights 2-0. Good amount of offensive opportunities for both sides. Both teams, of course, switching sides for the second half of play. Chargers now with it in control, sweeping it towards the middle. I think that's Alexis Gilbert trying to sweep it towards the net. Doesn't get all of it, and the whistle will go in the Knights' favor. They'll retake possession. Good steal by Danko. And Rainier's going to get it back for the Chargers. Danko again. Stick handling her way around, and a nice kick save there by Michaela Gallardo. Kicks that right back out, and the Knights back on the attack. Ashley Torgerson going to power that one all the way down to the other end of the field, but it goes out of bounds. Audrey Tross was not able to pursue that one. So Alyssa Hamilton, a junior defender. Now Alexis Gilbert, again the lead goal getter for the Chargers, in control. She stood up by Jocelyn Marino. Good play by her. She'll sweep it ahead for Audrey Tross, and an odd man rush a bit here for the Knights. A battle for it. Just about 20 yards outside the goal. And Audrey smartly decides to reset, but Corinna Olsen missed it with her stick on that one. Ashley Torgerson trying to stave off this Chargers attack. And that looked like it went off the foot of Rainier. And the Knights will have possession.
Ashley Torgerson usually more focused on the offensive side of the ball. Playing backfield now, that just to close off the half. We saw Rachel Nimmel go down, unfortunately. She's a big part of this team, one of the team captains.
And it looked like off that corner shot, Rachel caught the ball in a tough spot, a bit of a stinger. So hopefully she might be able to get back in this game. But for now, she's taking a break on the sideline as the ball is deep into the Charger territory. Riley Danko's going to try and get rid of it and clear it. She will. A good pass to Maddie Gray, who's going to find Alexis Gilbert on the far side. She's just barely not going to get there in time before it goes out of bounds. Marino is in the vicinity, but the Knights have possession now. Maddie Gray, another good pass, looking for Gilbert. She's got it on the far side, being guarded closely by Marino. So sweep it ahead. A couple of charges in the vicinity, but it goes too far past them. And the Knights will have possession again. Ashley Torgerson, as Tyler mentioned, a big part of the offense for the Knights, but with Rachel Emmel on the sideline, she's going to have to take some of the defensive burden as well. This is Sydney White looking for control. She'll lose it, but apply good pressure to the Chargers as they're going to try and work their way up and get another sustained attack going. Maddie Gray pulls up and a lead pass looking for her teammate. That was number 4, Maddie Krieg. Too far for her, and it goes out of bounds. Chargers back on the attack. Ashley Torgerson giving chase. She'll steal it. Looks like it might have gone off the foot of the Charger attacker, Maddie Gray. Molly Gray, rather. My apologies. Molly's a junior from Schaeferstown, Pennsylvania. Now Alexis Gilbert pushes it ahead past Maddie Krieg. And the Knights back with it. Ashley Torgerson bounces that towards the middle of the field. On top of the Knights logo it is. Riley Danko gets to it, but a good steal by Corinna Olsen, the junior captain. A Charger defender gets a stick to it, but Corinna right back on top of it. So the Knights are going to look for a lot of energy coming from her to develop some sort of attack offensively. And here's Audrey Tross has an opportunity. There's a stick battle for it. Looks like Alexis Gilbert's going to come on top. And the Chargers are going to steal that one from Jocelyn Marino, but Ashley Torkinson retakes it. And she's got some time and space in the middle of the field. Trying to stick handle her way around Molly Gray. And it looked like she did for a second, but eventually loses possession to Molly, and she's back on it. She'll push it ahead too far, though, for Alexis Gilbert. A lot of through balls for Lancaster Bible. Too far in front of their teammates. Seems like they're kind of running them to death over there on the far side. But now Corinna Olsen with it for the Knights, looking for Sydney White. That one eventually goes out of bounds. But Corinna Olsen in another battle for possession. Chargers come back up on top. Still have quite a bit of rain coming down here in Buena Vista today. Although not quite as windy as it was just a few hours ago when Southern Virginia hosted a soccer game against Methodist.
Thank goodness. Yeah, the rain's starting to come down a little bit harder. A lot of people in the stands starting to bring out their umbrellas. Thankfully, the field hockey ball is pretty hard. Got to see Rachel Immel on the sideline running a little bit, taking off her raincoat she had on. Looks like she'll be back in the game soon, hopefully.
And that'll be a big boost for the Knights, as to start the game, they did have one player advantage over Lancaster Bible, who has a couple of injuries as well. And since then, the Knights have, as Tyler mentioned, had to send Ashley Torgerson back for a more defensive role rather than focus her game on the attack. So hopefully Rachel will be able to come back in as she warms up that leg that got struck by a corner shot. That one's going to roll out of bounds, and the Knights will have possession. Rochelle Chukong is there to stop that Charger attack, but it's still in front of the goal. An opportunity now for Lancaster Bible. Ashley Torgerson, though, a good defensive play, and she'll just clear that one out of bounds and get it out of harm's way.
See Rachel Immel running back onto the field. Good to see her.
This is Riley Danko, freshman, trying to make her way around Torgerson. She does. Good move right in front of the goal. She'll send it off the side, the left side of the goal. Really nice moves to get around Ashley Torgerson and then Rochelle Chukong. But ultimately, Michaela Gallardo took away the angle and forced her shot outside. You see, as Tyler mentioned, Rachel coming back in the game. Looks to be healthy and well. She's going to dispute that call, but it does go out of bounds in favor of Lancaster Bible. This is number 7, Haley Stahl. She's going to lose control of it. It looks like it might have bounced off Sydney White in a tough spot as well. But she looks to be fine, and we'll continue on. Haley Stahl again to take this shot. She's got an open teammate, Riley Danko, in the middle, but a nice looking steal by Sydney White as she tries to mount some sort of attack for the Knights, who desperately need it. Good steal by Hope Swari, a freshman. Now it's Audrey Tross in pursuit of it. Now Sydney White as well. A good steal by her. She's going to try and gain possession. She will. But the whistle is going to blow. And that's going to go in favor of Lancaster Bible. Looks like Sydney might have gotten that shot in the hand as she tries to shake it off. Ref says play on. Battle for it on the far side. Now, Corinna Olsen, a stick check in the middle of the field. This is Molly Gray spinning around Audrey Tross. She's going to find an opening. That's Alexis Gilbert on the far side. That pass gets broken up by the Knight defenders, and now Corinna Olsen's going to make a run for it. So now with Rachel Immel back in, the Knights are going to try and get some sort of sustained attack as they can push Ashley Torgerson maybe further up the field. As in this third quarter, not nearly as much offensive possession time as in the first half. So hopefully the Knights can regroup and get back on the attack.
Nice steal by Corinna Olsen. Nice pass to Ellie Agnew. As we mentioned before, Ellie made a lot of scoring opportunities early on in the game, able to clear some way for the offense. She being, like we mentioned earlier, being the only goal scorer so far this season.
Riley Danko is going to go quick with this one, finds her teammate Rainier. And a good defensive play by Rachel Immel coming back in to stave off that offensive attack. It's going to roll out of bounds. Rachel almost got after it. But Lancaster Bible will retain possession. Says Riley Danko had a really solid opportunity a few moments ago. She'll whack towards it. Rachel Immel gets a stick to it. Nice block by her. So defensively coming back in, Rachel will certainly give the Knights a boost. But now they need to push forward and mount some sort of attack.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the Knights were in a difficult position before with Rachel being injured. At the same time, you want to press downfield offensively, but with that spot void on the defensive end, you got to put some players back there. But now that Rachel's back in the game, you can see the Knights put a little bit more pressure offensively on the Chargers.
Jocelyn Marino going to set up her teammate Corinna Olsen. That'll go out, and Lancaster Bible will take the ball. And trying to set up a through ball for Rainier, but that's rejected by Ashley Torgerson.
As we mentioned before, Ashley Torgerson, big part of the Knights' offense. But as we see here, she seems to be kind of back in the backfield still, more of a midfield type of role.
And Tyler, I'm not sure if this is how they were set up before, but maybe a slight adjustment is they're having Rochelle Chukwang play pretty far back in the Knights' defensive zone and maybe push up a few more players. And so they still have stability on the back end in case Lancaster Bible has some sort of attack, but they're going to try and push up a few more players on the offensive side of things.
Yeah, we see Rachel Immel right here about to hit a ball in. She's usually on the defensive side. She rarely crosses to the other side of the field to play offense, but as we see here, that's what she's doing right now after coming back from that injury.
35 seconds remain in the third quarter. Still 2-0 Lancaster Bible. No score in this third quarter. Battle for possession in the middle of the field, in the Knights' territory. That goes out of bounds, and Jocelyn Marino will take this one for the Knights. Jocelyn is a freshman from Hollister, California. Now Ashley Torgerson, a good feed looking for Audrey Tross. It's a little bit too far in front of her. And another steal for the Chargers. And that'll wind down the clock for the end of the third quarter. Still a 2-0 lead for Lancaster Bible. And with that, the Knights Athletic Department would like to thank the following sponsors again for their continued support of Knights Athletics: Cornerstone Bank, Mill Creek Orthodontics, River Crossing Apartments, Straws Drinks and Eats, Grace Automotive, where SVU students and staff can receive 10% off their vehicle maintenance needs. Also Papa John's Pizza, locally owned and operated, Vinyl Cuts, The Beeve, Sweet Souvenirs, and Katana Sushi in Hibachi Express. And if you would like to partner with Knights Athletics to promote your business to the Knight Nation, please contact Brett Schroeder at 801-633-1894. That's 801-633-1894. And so we're approaching the fourth quarter of play, the last 15 minutes of regulation in this one. Tyler, what do you want to see from the Knights in this fourth quarter to hopefully get this thing knotted at 2?
Looking back at what's happened throughout the game, we definitely see the Knights trying to try something new, switching a couple players out position-wise. We're seeing Paola, who usually sits in the cage as goalie. She was switched out for Michaela Gallardo. We're seeing Ashley Torgerson kind of step back in more defensive role. Rachel Emmel being put more of an offensive role. So we're seeing a little bit of changes, a little bit new strategy. We're definitely seeing a lot more players go onto the other side of the field for the Chargers to, hopefully get some offense going. They're down 2-0. This is a manageable position to be in. And if I'm the Knights, I still got a lot of faith. I'm going to put my heart out there, try to tie this thing up and get the lead. And if I'm the Chargers, we saw the Chargers, they were a lot more offensive opportunity this past quarter. They entered the half leading 2-0. But after the injury of Rachel Emmel going down, the Chargers were able to take advantage to the player advantage that they had at the time. Spend a lot of time on the Knights side of the field. But now that Rachel's back, the Knights getting more into a rhythm. They're able to hopefully come into this fourth quarter ready to go.
Yeah, the Knights have certainly kept themselves within striking distance with good enough defensive play. And they have also had their fair share of offensive opportunities. And so with 15 minutes remaining in this one, the Knights will look to cut into the lead and hopefully tie it. As surely as Tyler mentioned, the Knights will start to send some players forward into the offensive side to get some shots on Amanda Hoover, the sophomore goalkeeper for Lancaster Bible. The Knights start out with it. Corinna Olsen now in possession. She'll turn and sweep it back to Ashley Torgerson. She's going to look for Sydney White, the junior, on the far side. She gets it stolen away. Lots of speed coming down the far side right by Jocelyn Marino, but it goes out of bounds. Possession for the Knights.
See Coach Lamb on the sideline talking to her players, trying to get them going. Now let's talk about Coach Lamb for a little bit. She's been at SVU for the field hockey team since its inception. She's the lone coach on that staff, so she's kind of built this program from the ground up, and it's interesting to see where it's come since it started.
Coach Lamb in her 6th season, as Tyler mentioned, from the very, very beginning of this program, and they've enjoyed some big improvements in the previous years, especially last year. A program record 3 wins on the year, and there's still time early in this 2023 season to get to that mark. As the Knights, they're going to press forward a little bit. You even see Rochelle Chukong coming from her defensive position, pushing towards midfield. But eventually, the Knights lose possession, and that'll roll out of bounds. But Jocelyn Marino's there to take it. Looking for Corinna Olsen. Molly Gray's there to take that away. And now Alexis Gilbert goes on the attack for the Chargers. Trying to make her way around Rachel Immel, who disrupts that one and goes back out of bounds, deflecting off of Rachel's stick. Alexis Gilbert with it again. She's pestered by Marino. Good play by Maddie Krieg, and trips up Rachel Immel on the way towards the ball. Looked like a bit of an accident there, and some sportsmanship from both sides. Now Sydney White on the far side is going to try and make her way around number 18 Hope Soiree, but eventually that rolls out of bounds off of the stick of Soiree. And Joss Marino right in front of her coach, Coach Lamb. Sending it into a fray of players. So a lot of back and forth early in this fourth quarter, just under 3 minutes gone. Now towards the goal, an open opportunity for Rainier. Gallardo's out of the goal and she gets back there. Really good defense by Rachel Immel to stave it off. Now Lancaster Bible just trying to send it back towards the goal as the defense of the Knights look a little bit out of sorts after that great opportunity for Lancaster Bible. Bounces off of Gallardo. Good save by her.
Nice hustle by the whole Knights team there on that, offensive play by the Chargers.
And it's back in the middle of the field again. Knights not out of the woods yet. This is Rachel Immel working hard, and Gallardo is going to kick that one out nicely right in front of Rainier. And the Knights stave it off. So a couple of nice saves by Michaela Gallardo, but also some nice defense, ensuring that nothing got in behind the goalie by Rachel Immel and Rochelle Chukong.
Nice awareness there by the defense of the Knights. Gallardo was drawn out of the cage for a bit, but the Knights were able to be aware of the field and their surroundings, able to stave off any shot by the Chargers. It looks like the Knights are going to set up for another corner hit today. The Chargers were able to convert their first one for a score, looking to make it 3-0 to clinch their second win of the season. As we mentioned earlier, the Chargers currently sit 1-5 for the season so far. They're members of the United East Conference. SVU plays Wilson College later in the season, who's also a member of that conference. No conference games have been played yet, so the conference is still up for grabs. So for Lancaster Bible, they hope to make their way to the tournament, hopefully, and win their conference.
The Knights able to stave that corner shot off. Ashley Torgeson's looking for teammate Sydney White on the far side. She's also got Paola Nunez. And the Knights typically have been just one pass away of getting Paola in alone with the goalkeeper, but some really stingy defense by Lancaster Bible has prevented that. Alexis Gilbert back in control, trying to stick handle her way around Jocelyn Marino. None doing. A scoop pass towards Ellie Ignu. It bounces over her stick, and Lancaster Bible back on the attack. This is Riley Danko trying to get through Rachel Immel and Ashley Torgeson, but Ashley Torgeson proves too speedy for that move. And the Knights with possession again.
As we mentioned before, Torgeson's usually playing more of a midfield forward role. She seems to have found a spot in the backfield for the rest of this game. She's been doing really well in that capacity. She's been important, and looks like that was going to hit the foot, but game's still going to go on.
Corinna Olsen's going to try and go quickly to mount an attack for the Knights. She'll send it. She kind of whiffs on that, send it towards Audrey Tross. But the defense of Lancaster Bible is able to gather and move it back up the field. Rachel Emler in pursuit of that one. They're going to try and set up Molly Gray, but it goes just past her stick. The two number 8s in battle here. Rochelle Chukwang is going to enter the fray as well, and a whistle eventually blows in favor of the Knights' possession.
You know, we saw the Chargers there try to cross the field to open up the passing game and the scoring ability here, but the Knights' defense was all over that and were able to shut that down.
There's Haley Stahl trying to clear it back into the Knights' territory. Rachel Immel disrupts that one, and she's on the move, far up from her typical defensive position, but a really nice steal there by Lancaster Bible to get by. And now it's Molly Gray. One move to get around Ashley Torgensen, but a good play by Ashley to disrupt that one. As if Molly Gray got around Ashley, then would have been a 3-on-1 almost for the Chargers. So fortunately, a good defensive stand by Torgeson. Michaela Gallardo is going to have to come out and kick that one away. Sydney White now in possession. She's going to lose it to Haley Stahl. And Maddie Krieg clears it into the middle of the field where Rachel Emmel took it, but it gets taken away from her. Lots of battle for possession here in the middle of the field on the Knights' end. So the Knights a bit back on their heels, trying to prevent Lancaster Bible from taking a 3-0 lead. A nice pass by Torgeson ahead to Ellie Ignu. She'll then swipe it ahead for Audrey Tross as she tries and shields the ball from Haley Stahl. Whistle blown, but the Knights will keep possession. 6:34 left on the clock in regulation. So the Knights running out of time to make a comeback here. As unlike in the first half, the Knights really haven't been able to create sustained pressure on Amanda Hoover, who has one save on the day. Corinna Olsen's going to lose that. Now in the middle of the field, it's Molly Gray. She's going to send it back towards the outside, looking for Alexis Gilbert. It goes out of bounds. Last to touch, Molly Gray. And now Jocelyn Marino, the freshman, trying to set up Sydney White. It goes by her. She wasn't sure where it went. And here come the Chargers again.
Torgeson with a nice clear to get the ball out of there. But it looks like there's some sort of whistle, and the Chargers are going to take that free hit.
This is Alexis Gilbert with it now. Good looking steal by Jocelyn Marino, but the whistle is actually going to be blown on her, and Gilbert takes control again, trying to stick on her way through. It's going to deflect off a couple of bodies and past the goal. So good job by Michaela Gallardo to cut off the angle. And eventually rolls out of bounds, and Ashley Torgeson here to take it for the Knights. Just under 5 minutes remaining in play today. Haley Stahl tries to get it by Corinna Olsen. She can't. Whistle blown against Lancaster Bible. Corinna Olsen going to try and pick up some speed. She's got Ellie Igno on the near side. That goes off the stick of Stahl. Ellie Igno retains possession. Knights looking for some kind of room, but Corinna Olsen's going to sweep it back to the wrong team. This is Mira Rainier. Sending it back for Riley Danko, finds her way around Ashley Torgeson. And the whistle is going to blow in favor of the Chargers' possession, but also fortunately for the Knights, as Rainier Had a lot of space down there near the goal. Riley Danko finds Trenier. Bottom of your screen. That one's going to hop over the stick of Danko, and Corinna Olsen will gain control for the Knights. Might have gone off the foot of Haley Stahl. It does. So Olsen will take this one for the Knights. Looking for an open teammate in the middle of the field. She's got Audrey Tross, but it goes over her stick, and Alexis Gilbert back in control, mounting an attack for the Chargers. Nice couple of moves to get by Rachel Immel and Jocelyn Marino, but eventually it's rejected by Ashley Torgeson. So Tyler, towards the end of the game here, not too much attack going for the Knights, but they've got to try and muster something here to get back into it late.
You said it, got 2:45 left in the clock. Knights down 2-0. They're trying to get something offensively started. You see Paola down the field waiting to get the ball, and so we have Ashley Tross trying to make something happen, but the ball gets taken away by the Chargers.
And it looks like they might need Paola to step back a little bit to help fight for possession as the Chargers back on the attack. Gallardo's out to make the save, a stick battle with it, and it's going to bounce just past the goal. But the Knights stave it off, luckily, to keep it at 2-0. And possession will remain with the Chargers and Haley Stahl. She's being shadowed by Ellie Ignu. And sweeping it towards the goal is Danko, and just barely not getting a stick on it, I think it was number 4, Maddie Krieg. Haley Stahl still with it for Lancaster Bible. She'll stick handle her way through, whiffs on it. Rachel Immel is able to get there in time. And with under a minute and a half remaining, Knights need to mount an attack. Corinna also knows this and just tries to sweep it out of harm's way, but she can't.
You can see the Knights got their eyes down the field. They want to make something offensively happen, but this Chargers offense just keeps doing what they're doing. Getting the ball back and putting pressure on the Knights defense.
It looks like the Knights keep trying to clear it out in the direction of Paola Nunes, but there's just too many bodies there from the Chargers. They're playing one player down, but it doesn't seem like it, as they've been very well positioned all day long. Really good move by Danko to get free. She's going to swipe it towards the goal, and a goal scored by Riley Danko to make it 3-0. Gallardo tried to swipe at it with her right pad, but she couldn't get there in time. And that pretty much puts the nail in the coffin for Lancaster Bible. They lead it 3-0 with 40 seconds to play.
Riley Danko appears that'll be her first goal of the season from Newport, Pennsylvania. She's a freshman. She's definitely been a name we've been calling out a lot here for the Chargers today.
Here's Audrey Tross with it, trying to mount one last attack for Southern Virginia. It's Corinna Olsen now. Send it on the far near side. Looking for Ellie Agnew, but it goes way past her, out of bounds. And with just 10 seconds remaining, that might melt out the clock. One last swipe at it by Alyssa Hamilton. And Molly Gray will be the last one to touch the ball, and Lancaster Bible will come out with another 3-0 victory against Southern Virginia. So a hard-fought game, Tyler. Both teams had their offensive opportunities, both played pretty well defensively, but ultimately Lancaster Bible was just able to capitalize more. What can you take from this game for the Knights and going forward?
Going forward, they're getting much more comfortable offensively, finding their rhythm, finding their groove. We've mentioned this before in previous games. This is a very young team. at least half of this team is freshmen. And it looks like, they're still experimenting with, where all these players fit on the field. We saw a change at goalie today. We saw a few players, just in a new position that they haven't been before. And so, the season's still young. We're not even halfway there yet. They're on the road next game at Randolph-Macon. So I'm excited to see, what happens going forward and to see, how these young players develop and get used to their game.
So as Tyler mentioned, the Knights' next matchup will be against Randolph-Macon College in Ashland, Virginia, before returning home on October 2nd. That's a Monday here in Buena Vista. So unfortunately for the Knights, they go down 0-3 against Lancaster Bible, but lots of improvement on the offensive side of things going forward, hopefully, for the Knights. We thank you for joining us in another edition of Knights Broadcasting. Have a pleasant evening.